Dude, we get to watch Jackson Dart on primetime this evening, boys. We get to watch Jackson Dart in
What a
prime
time to be alive.
The Giants.
What a time to be alive. I'm not lying to you, boys. I am rooting for the young man. I really, really am, dude. I would love to see him go out there and hand Philadelphia their second loss. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this provides probably the largest test that he has ever faced in his football career. I think Philadelphia is going to be hungry. I think Philadelphia is going to be upset over their loss last week. And I think it's going to be a bloodbath for the New York Giants this evening. I feel like that they are just so overmatched. It's crazy. I want to see Saquon Barkley get going, right? Because what an underwhelming season so far. What people haven't been having the conversation about as of late, I'm not really bought in on this Philadelphia Eagles new offensive coordinator. I'm not really sure what he's wanting to do. It is a far cry from the exciting offense we saw last year with Kellen Moore, now transferring over into his protege. They're keeping it very basic, very vanilla. It's one of the most boring offenses I've ever seen, where you're almost ignoring your two best players on the team. The skill positions, at least, with Saquon and also A.J. Brown with very few targets. I still think Philadelphia wins this one. It's hard for me to see a rookie quarterback in his third start be able to have many wins against this defense. So I'm going to pick Philadelphia to win this game by a significant margin, say 10 plus points. I'm not sure what the spread is here. Definitely take the Philadelphia Eagles points. Richie, thoughts?
Yeah, another thing to bring up about this game is the Eagles had a team meeting, more specifically Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the playmakers with the quarterback, because there's some things going on. I don't know. I think, isn't Saquon a little banged up? I think he's banged up. I think he's probably going to play, but he's was not practicing fully, so he's a little nicked up. He only had limited sample size last week, so there's something there going on. And there's some rumors about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith not being happy with their roles. So, hey, man, there's something going on with that team. I still think the Eagles are going to win. The Giants, they had a nice little cute win against the Chargers, but the fact that they looked that bad and turned the ball over 5 straight times against the Saints, you can only imagine the types of plays that they're going to fumble tonight against a really good defense. So give me the Eagles, but you never know. Maybe they'll make it competitive and Jackson Dart will impress some people.
Thoughts on this game, TD?
Philly rolls, takes care of business. We haven't talked about this enough, but Jackson Dart. His stock fell. We talked about that first game. He didn't contribute to losing the game. He helped his team win, and he wasn't elite or anything like that. He was just good. He did his job, and he did it well. But he regressed. That Saints game, that's just not good. That's not good enough. And the problem I have with it was the Saints. It was the Saints. That's one where you're supposed to see what I was expecting from Dart is to pick up where he left off and build some momentum with a weaker opponent, and he didn't do that. He regressed through 2 interceptions to hurt his team in that game. So here we are. Now you got a huge test. I'm going to be honest with you. He got to show something. He can't go out there throwing 2 picks again. He can't go out there having a bad game, regardless of it being the Eagles, because, hey, that's two in a row. That would be 2 in a row. What are we doing here? Hey, we're supposed to be headed the other way. So he gotta perform this week, because a lot of times we just look at these rookies, we talk about the good games, but we kind of glance over the bad ones. Are you that dude? You started out on fire a little bit, but now things are simmering off. You got to pick that back up. The Giants need it. They need hope for the future. They need a promising young star, and he got to show that he's it. So you need a big time win, just like you saw Drake May against Buffalo, what he was able to do. You need that type of play from a guy like Jackson Dart. So here we are. This game is important for him, and he needs to perform.
Second best quarterback in the NFL, DVOA, Sam Darnold, is going to Duval.
This is going to be a good game.
It's a good game, yeah.
He's facing off against the Jacksonville Jaguars right there, man. And
what time is this game?
It is a 1 o'clock.
Nice.
It is a 1 o'clock matchup on
Jets
Sunday.
Win, after London, they get to watch.
I don't know, dude. I don't know why. What fools are lined up on Sunday Night Football? Because this smells like a Sunday Night Football matchup that they totally missed out on.
Lions Chiefs.
Never mind. Spoke way too soon. Anyway, one thing I will say is that, man, I don't know what to say, dude. I don't know what to say about this one, man. I have a gut feeling. Look, I know that some people might not be happy when I say these things because the Jaguars are 4-1. I don't trust the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't. And so I think that they are succeeding with Trevor Lawrence as their detriment. I really think that that's the case. And he's going up against a really good defense right now. The Seattle Seahawks defense, that's the story right there. I know their offense has been really taking strides and doing better than a lot of people anticipated, and they're operating very well. Seattle Seahawks defense, at least statistically, is a better overall unit than Jacksonville brings to the table. Obviously, Jacksonville takes the football away more often, but as far as a suffocating game plan, I think this is going to be the biggest test for Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen all season. I got the Seahawks winning this one, dude. I have the Seahawks winning this one. I don't like the matchups. I'm interested if Greg Newsome is going to play on Sunday. I don't see why he wouldn't. Maybe a small snap percentage, perhaps, and that adds into it. As long as Sam can protect the football, and Richie probably knows this. How many interceptions does Sam have so far this year?
3.
Okay, look at that. I knew he knew that. I knew he would know that. Yeah,
3 more than Justin Fields.
As long as he ultimately ends up protecting the football, which I think that he will, I think the Seattle Seahawks team wins pretty convincingly. Richie, thoughts?
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Seattle's defense on your point is they did let Baker Mayfield in that offense put up 38 on them. So there are some holes, and I know Baker's in that offense is definitely a high prolific offense, but there are some, cracks in that defense that I think Trevor Lawrence and that offense can take advantage of. They really got to start getting Travis Hunter the rock and get him more involved. I think that his big-time play he made down the field could spark something. I like the playmakers for Jacksonville. This is going to be a big game, and Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence, 2 quarterbacks that I think are really trying to prove themselves in this league, even though they've been around for a while. I think Sam has proven to be the better guy, of course, to this point, and this is a big game for the Seahawks because the Seahawks are in a very tough division. You can argue the Jaguars are as well, but you have the Seahawks that are in 3rd place behind the Rams and the Niners. If they lose, they get to 3-3, then you're really going to start to have an uphill battle here. The NFC is really clogged with a lot of weapons, a lot of good teams. I think that the Sam Darnold-led offense is going to have a big test against this Jacksonville Jaguars defense that likes to take the ball away. The Jaguars won that game because of that pick 6 by Devin Lloyd. Just completely fooled Mahomes by pretending like you're blitzing up the middle at the goal line, bailing, and then jumping a slant over the middle. I mean, Mahomes threw that rock seeing somebody wide open on a slant over the middle. Didn't even see Devin Lloyd just come out of nowhere. That's what great defenses do, man. You absolutely just confuse quarterbacks. You don't know where they're coming from. The question is, are the Jaguars going to be able to do that? If the Jaguars can replicate that type of defense and take the ball away, that's their formula. That's how they win. But I feel like what Sam has been doing such a tremendous job of this season that I feel like not a lot of people are noticing is it's not all in the structure. Sam is making plays out of the pocket, pressures in his face. He's stepping up in the clutch. He's throwing across his body deep down the field. He's making those plays where you're just like, this is not just a good quarterback. He really is doing those plays that's jaw-dropping type of throws. And if he can keep doing that against a really good secondary in the Jaguars, then he's only going to continue his development to be the future of the Seahawks. But I'm going to go with Seattle in this game on the road. I feel like the 5-1 Jaguars, if the Jaguars win and they get to 5-1, we got to really have to have a conversation about them. But give me the Seattle Seahawks on the road getting a big win.
What about you, TD?
Yeah, I don't trust this game for Seattle because they have to travel all the way across the country. It's going to be tough, though, because Seattle can put up points. They can score. They're a good team overall. But my thing is when they play other well-rounded competition, it's like a slugfest. It's match for match. And being on the road in this, I don't like it. I really don't like it for them. Man, this one's a tough one. I'm going to have to go with Jacksonville. I think they pick up where they left off. They're on a high after beating the Chiefs and 4-1, feeling like, hey, man, we can win the conference even. They're on a high right now. And I think that they're starting to get Travis Hunter involved a little more. They're realizing, hey, man, get the ball in his hands real quick and he can make some plays and make some moves. And he's starting to become Trevor's security blanket when you watch that game. When Trevor was in trouble, he got him the football and it worked out for him. Jacksonville also, they're pretty good on defense as well. Any given week, Again, I'm not ruling Seattle out in this game. They know how to put up points. They are in every game, if not blowing teams out like the Saints. I'm going to go with the home team in this because it's hard for me to pick, and I'm going to take that advantage in a close game, being at home, crowd, and that's one that I definitely got to watch, though. That'll be a good game.
How about this damn matchup right here? The LA Rams, Baltimore Ravens. Good God. By the way, so did you all see that? So the DM exchange between Lamar Jackson and a fan?
I did, yeah.
You saw that, right?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
TD don't see nothing.
Yeah. Some fan was trolling Lamar in the DMs, and like, he responded, and he was just like, "Dude, like, what's wrong with you?" and stuff like that. Like, exposed the guy. He brought the receipts and stuff along those lines. But he did say something interesting where, like, he was just like, "Yeah, you're right." And so the X-rays are gonna lie about my hamstring. You don't use X-rays to look at soft tissue injuries. Like, that's MRI. Like, that's not an X-ray. So maybe we shouldn't be focusing a lot on semantics here. Maybe that's what he meant, et cetera, et cetera. But he was clearly frustrated. He exposed that young man that was in his DMs, right? But I don't know, man. Let's assume that Lamar Jackson is not playing. We got Cooper Rush out there. Do the Ravens have any shot in the world to beat the LA Rams this weekend? Rich, thoughts on this, man? Can Baltimore pull off a victory against LA without their quarterback?
I can't believe how bad the Ravens are without Lamar. It really is crazy. It really shows you why he was the MVP those 2 years in a row. I have no confidence in Baltimore, especially the Rams coming off a tough loss, which, by the way, they are well rested. Thursday Night Football is when they played, so they're going to be able to adjust to traveling to the East Coast. I got the Rams in this game. The Rams are really good.
It sounds like it's all unanimous right now that LA is going to beat Baltimore. It's just crazy to me, like, what happened to this team. I understand that they have injuries, but even when you look when Lamar has been out, and even back when he was playing, like, you're not seeing this team, first off, utilize Derrick Henry in first and second down. When they utilize him, they are impossible to stop. But for some reason, his first and second down carries are almost virtually non-existent. And that was even when Lamar was playing. They are one of the lowest running teams in play action, like, on the face of the planet. Like, you have Derrick Henry on your team and you're not running play action. Something is wrong with this team. Like, you can't convince me that this coaching staff is trying to sabotage this roster, or like there's something deeper going on, like, with this team, because you have all of the personnel to make it work, and you're ignoring how you can be efficient. Like, not using Derrick Henry first and second down and being one of the least running play action teams in all of the NFL doesn't make sense to me. I have no idea what's going through their mind. Does John Harbaugh, like, maybe he wants out or something? And, like, he's like, yeah, I'll just get fired so I can get a sweet severance package or something. So, I have no idea what it is. Thoughts on why this Ravens team is the Ravens team this year?
Well, first off, Lamar Jackson didn't practice again today, so he's probably going to be out this weekend. And this Raven team is the way it is this year because their quarterback got hurt. I'm not worried about week one when they lost to Buffalo. Bad break at the end. Derrick Henry with the fumbles and all of that stuff. Catching some bad breaks, but they've been doing that, and they still have had successful seasons. But Lamar going out at the wrong time when they should have been making a run to get themselves back in is what really the issue is. Now, that defense isn't playing as good as it usually is either. And, Harbaugh's getting a lot of pressure off of that. It's on him. He has to be able to coach his team up regardless of the quarterback and figure out a way to win. And that's not good. So you got to put this all on coaching at this point. You got to put it all on coaching. They got to be better and figure out a way because they got the talent. Nobody can sit here and say that they don't have talent on that roster. It should be winning games.
Let's talk about Indianapolis Colts and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals. Man, you know what? I saw something pretty intriguing. And granted, it was from a social media team of some major sports book where they ended up putting players that could most likely will be traded, likely, possibly. And Kyler Murray was on the possibly slide, saying that Kyler Murray could be shipped off somewhere. I don't know if that's the case, but it's pretty clear that the Arizona Cardinals, after a hot start at 2-0, they have fallen 2-3 and going into Indianapolis, and perhaps one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Shout out to TD for calling it how it was after week 1. Like, this might be the best team in the NFL. Who damn knows? But can Arizona get it right? Do they have a snowball's chance in hell at beating the red-hot Indianapolis Colts? TD.
No. Arizona, listen, this isn't a division rival. You know how those things go back and forth. This is a team that just lost to the Tennessee Titans, which Tennessee isn't a great team, and they almost gave it to you, but you gave it back. The Colts are on fire right now. They're inspired. They're starting to feel like they're better than everybody, and that's a dangerous thing. Jonathan Taylor, Daniel Dimes doing his thing. This might actually even be a lopsided victory. This might be a blowout, and Arizona's going to start selling everything at that point, because when you look at their opponents after that, man, they got a little bit of a gauntlet. Division rivals and things like that. So Colts gonna roll in this one. They're gonna pick up where they left off. I see no slowdown from them. Arizona's a troubled team, just like many of them. Now they have 2 wins, but they beat a depleted 40. No, they lost to the 49ers too. I didn't know that. They actually beat the Saints and they beat the Panthers. They beat the Saints and the Panthers, and those are 2 bad teams. So yeah, they're in trouble, man.
Damn. What do you think, Rich?
I am pissed off with these Cardinals. I should still be alive in my survival pool, and now this is my least favorite team. But hey, what if they come out there and pull off this win? Like, who have the Colts beat? That's impressive.
The Indianapolis, the Miami Dolphins. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Keep hating on what, bro? That does not answer the question. Who have the Colts beat? And you're like, wow, man. All right, let me just remind you who they beaten. The Raiders.
The Broncos.
The Titans, and they lost. They beat the Broncos because of that fluky field goal. They probably should have lost that game, to be honest. They beat them. But, yeah, like, they don't really have one of those wins that, the Broncos are a good team, obviously, even though they're going down this weekend. But as good as the Colts have been this year, I still need to see more before I really start, like, actually believing in them to be a threat in the playoffs or anything. Mm-hmm. I think that this could be a trap game for the Colts. The Cardinals were playing good football, and they collapsed in the fourth quarter. And I think that you never know, but who am I kidding, man? The Cardinals will figure out a way to lose because they're just that bad right now. And Gannon got fined $100,000 for hitting his own player. I mean, can it get worse than that? So give me the Colts in this game, but I think it'll be competitive.
Dan the Man Mitchell.
Damn, man. Dude, you know what? Funny enough, dude, like, no one talks about this Colts defense enough. Like, people are all high on the Seahawks. Everyone's all high on the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. But if you're genuinely talking about a top 3 pound-for-pound defense that nobody is talking about, and they should, it's the Indianapolis Colts. Man, they are deadly in the secondary. Like, with that Charvarius Ward pickup has really been paying its dividends. You have Kenny Moore is perhaps one of the best, like, slot corners in the game. Same thing with pass rush. Like, this team gets it done, and that brand new defensive coordinator has really turned a leaf on this. That's going to be the biggest factor of this game. I think that Arizona still has a hard time getting to the quarterback. You have Daniel Jones out there playing at an all-time level. I have a really good feeling that Indianapolis may very well hold Arizona to like 10 points on Sunday. I think that Indy will put up about 30. I'm going to go 33-10. It's going to be one of those games.
Yeah.
I think the train continues to roll.
They're 5th in points allowed, least points allowed.
Yeah. Like, it's such a suffocating defense, and this Arizona Cardinals team can't stop a nosebleed typically. I'm sure Kyler will, shoot himself in the foot a couple of times. Yeah,